His mate, his prisoner. Episode 7. Previous episodes are available in playlist, a link is given in the video description. Chapter 71. Things are awkward between Giselle's maid and me. I don't blame her for keeping her distance from me after I told her that Maya was the only woman that I'll ever have any feelings for. Even if I had feelings for her, I would never admit them. Not when I had a mate. Not when my mate was Maya, the most wonderful woman I've ever known in my entire life. No one could take her place in my life. I knew that something kept pulling me towards the girl, but I also knew that the moment Maya was in my arms again, absolutely no one would be able to grab my attention ever again. After everything I've put my mate through, I cannot do anything to hurt her again. I've already done things that I shouldn't have done. I've gotten physical with the maid twice already, and I'm not sure how to ask Maya to forgive me for what I've done. Every time I thought about it, I felt like drowning myself in the ocean. How could Maya be so unlucky to find a mate like me? I couldn't seem to do anything right. But it's not like I'm purposefully betraying her either. My emotions are messing with me. The only reason why I get so lost around Giselle's maid is that she reminds me so much of my mate. I can't explain what happened whenever we were together, and I can't answer why my heart sped up whenever she was around. I also can't deny having feelings for her. There was also one other thing that worried me. My wolf seemed to think that she belonged to us. That she was something more than what she was meant to be in my life. I don't understand anything that's happening in my life recently. I can't explain why my heart felt like it would explode with fear when I realized that Giselle had left her to die. I also can't explain why I risked everything to protect her on multiple occasions. The only explanation I could think of was that I was a hypocritical fool. My words and actions were not aligning with each other. They both felt like they were going in opposite directions as long as it concerned this woman. A woman that I still had no name for. I knew nothing about her or her background. Maybe I felt sorry for her, perhaps that's why I was desperate to protect her. It was the only reason I could think of. I felt like I had to stick with this explanation if I wanted to move on from whatever I felt for her. I hate how much it bothers me that I've hurt her from what I said to her earlier. But I don't regret it. I can't regret it. I told her I had no feelings for her because I knew that I was getting closer to finding out what had happened to Maya. I knew that I couldn't keep this up as I was in love with my mate. It was eating me up inside that my control slipped around the maid. Things were never supposed to reach that far between us. The first time I was drunk and used that as an excuse to kiss her. I'm still not sure what happened that night. The second time, I almost ended up inside her. I shiver at the thought. Lord knows I still wanted that to happen even though I knew how wrong it was to even think about it. But in my defense, I was only trying to keep her warm in whatever way I could think of at the time. The only problem was that my body began losing control when I finally started touching her. I don't know what I was thinking to even consider touching her like that. I knew that whenever she was that close for me to hold and smell her, my control always slipped. So then why was I so stupid to let it happen? I could have taken her out of the dungeon and started a fire. There were other options for me to help warm her body. But it was also true that I wasn't thinking clearly after seeing her like that. All I wanted to do was to save her. I knew that I would have to deal with the consequences of my actions after. And that's exactly what I'm doing now. So many things about her reminded me of Maya. And maybe that's the only reason I'm so confused and conflicted whenever I'm around her. She reminds me of the woman I so desperately want to find. Maybe I find comfort in her, a reminder of what I wanted and needed. But nothing could explain why the taste of her was exactly like the taste of my mate. The moment I had spread her legs and gotten the scent of her, I just knew that I was screwed. I wanted more and more, and it was because it felt like I was tasting Maya again. A taste that has always left me needing more. At this point, I wasn't sure what was truly happening to me. All I knew was that it had to stop before I found my mate. I'd put her through too much to let her down now. Now was the time for me to act like the mate I should have been in the beginning. There were no excuses anymore. I had finally put everything that happened in the past with my father and sister behind me. I knew that it was stupid of me to blame Maya for any of that. And it was stupid of me to hurt her because I was hurting. I let her take the fall for me. It should have never been that way. Every time I think about the past, I lose my mind. I had to make a promise to myself. A promise that I would never do anything to hurt her again. The moment that I found her and brought her back into my arms, I would do everything in my power to protect her and our unborn child. No one else will ever come above them. Not even me. Maya would be all I would ever worry about. She would be the only woman that I would put everything aside for. She was my woman. My only one. And I was one step closer to finding her. I could feel it. She was near. I would have her in my arms again. And when I did, I would have no choice but to say goodbye to Giselle's maid. She's by my side right now. She's quiet, deep in thought as we make our way to the council. I didn't want to drag her along with me, but I had no other choice. I didn't want to leave her stranded. There was danger lurking everywhere. I didn't save her to leave her for someone else to hurt her. We don't have to go any further, I tell her as I spot Hermano and his brothers a short distance from us. This was it. It was time to plot my revenge on Giselle and her father. They were going down. Maya, my heart is broken. I don't know why. It's not like I didn't realize that Kane's heart belonged to Maya. He's never tried to hide his feelings from me. He's made it clear since the start that she was everything to him. I don't know why I hoped that he would say something different. I caused my own heart to break. I knew that I had no right to ask him that. He'd just poured his heart out to me, telling me everything about Maya and their relationship. But I was so selfish with my own needs that I wanted to hear him say to me that she wasn't the only one he cared about. I wanted to hear him say that he also cared for me. I can feel him looking at me, we're here to meet Hermano and his family. And while he's speaking to them, he hardly ever takes his eyes away from me. I don't know what he's thinking. I don't know if he's still worried that I might be sick after what Giselle tried to do to me or just afraid that he was too harsh on me earlier. I'm ashamed to look his way. I don't know what else to say to him. How can I face him after he'd made it clear that no one else mattered but Maya? I didn't want to push my way into his life any more than I'd already done. All that was left for me was to help him get his revenge on Giselle. After that, I would be free to leave. We would go our separate ways, and I would be left with the little memories I had of him. I wish that there was more for me to cherish. They would be all I would have left of him after we parted ways. This is the location of everyone you wanted me to look into, Hermano tells Kane as he hands him a list. Though I've spoken to Lucy, you should know that the first half is not responsible for Maya's disappearance. Austin has already confronted all of them. Searched their homes. It made more enemies, basically. But none of them have Maya. There are only a few left to search under, and Austin has probably already looked into them. It may be faster to discuss this with him before you try looking for her. Kane looks uneasy. I'm not Austin's favorite person. If I ask him, I doubt he will be willing to disclose that information. Hermano glances at me, and I can tell that he's curious to know who I am. This is the second time that he's seen me around Kane. He must understand that there is a story behind the two of us. I didn't want his friends to think that something was going on between us. That would not look good for his already tarnished reputation. Kane catches him looking at me, and he tries to refocus his attention on him instead. I wanted to ask for your help. Again. What do you need help with? He asks him. I already told you that I'll help with whatever you need. Hermano's brothers are quiet as they watch the exchange between them. They don't try to ask any questions, and it seems to me that Hermano might be the eldest. They seem to respect him a lot. I want help to take Giselle and her father down, Kane tells him. I know it's plenty to ask for. They aren't the weakest targets out there. But it's the only way for me to escape Giselle and get the chance to look for Maya. I tried other ways, but Giselle was unwilling to let me go. I need to free my men and the women that have worked with me for years. I don't want to see them suffer because of me. I wouldn't ask for your help if I didn't desperately need it. If we can reach the dungeons and free everyone they've wrongfully held captive, I'm sure that they would help us fight against them. I'm in as long as the pretty lady next to you joins us on the trip back. One of Hermano's brothers exclaims. Marcus, Hermano growls his name in a warning. There you go, frightening the poor girl. Another one says. I believe I heard Hermano call him Thane earlier. How are you so terrible when it comes to flirting with anyone other than yourself? Nolan asks him. At least, I think that was his name. Kane didn't give a proper introduction between us. But how could he introduce me when I didn't have a name? I look up at him and am surprised to see him glaring at Marcus. He looks like he wants to send him flying into the air. I've seen Kane angry before, but I don't think I've ever seen this side of him before. If I didn't know better, I would think that he was possibly even jealous. But I knew it was impossible since his heart only belonged to Maya. He wouldn't need to be jealous concerning me. Not that he had anything to worry about. I explained to him once before that I couldn't look at any other man as long as he existed. I don't think Kane understood exactly what I meant back then, but at least I knew the extent of my words. It's nice to meet you. The last brother greets me. He looks like the youngest out of them all, but I could be wrong. I'm Lutheus. What is your name? I offer him a shy smile and shake his outstretched hand. She doesn't know her name. Kane cuts in before I can answer him. We don't have time for any introductions right now. I'll introduce you later. For now, I need to know if I have your help or not. Giselle thinks that we are getting married tomorrow. She's preparing for the wedding. I can't be away for too long, or she will suspect that I'm trying to set her up. If that happens, the entire plan will be a complete failure. I can't let that happen. I'm too desperate to find Maya. The more I stay trapped in the castle with Giselle, the more danger Maya's life is put into. Please, I don't know who else to turn to. Hermano places his hand on Kane's shoulder. I think I speak for all of us when I say that we will stand by your side and help free your people. What Giselle is doing is wrong. She cannot continue to destroy your life for her selfish intentions. You can count me in also. A new voice says. We all turn toward the sound, and I'm surprised to see a woman in front of us. The first thing that I notice is how beautiful she is. She's one of the most beautiful women I've ever seen. The second and more important thing that catches my attention is the resemblance between her and Kane. I've studied Kane enough to realize that there were similarities between them. However, Kane doesn't act as if he knows her all too well. Did I imagine things? Who was she to him? Kane, I'm surprised to see Gabriella here. I was planning on asking for her help, but I didn't get the chance to ask. Then how did she know that I needed help or would be here? I told her that you might be here, Hermano explained before I could ask any questions. How do you two know each other? I ask him. It's a long story, she says. Let's not get into that right now. Arthur walks toward us and wraps his arms around her protectively. It's almost like he's telling Hermano and his brothers to back off and that she was his. I didn't think he needed to do that since it was clear that she was pregnant. Everyone here understood that she was off limits. I heard that you needed my help, Gabriella says. I'm here to help you. Why are you so kind to me? I ask her. Your friends still believe that I should be punished for everything I've done in the past, and I fully agree with them. I've done so many things to Maya that even I can't find it in myself to forgive my wrongdoings. So then why are you always so willing to stand by me and even protect me? I knew I had asked this before, but I wanted to hear her answer. A real answer. One where she wasn't hiding anything from me. Because I knew there was something she was keeping from me. I don't know how I know this, but I do. There is plenty that Gabriella is holding back, and for some reason, it feels like she's holding back for my sake. But that doesn't make any sense to me. Why would she be concerned about her answer affecting me in any way? We had no connections with each other. Anything that she said would not affect me in the wrong way. Unless it had something to do with Maya, but again, somehow, I just knew that it didn't have anything to do with her. I don't think that any of that is important right now. She tells me. I can see that there is plenty to be done. We need to free your friends, and then we need to find Maya. I'm here to stand by your side through it all. All you need to know is that I'm not your enemy. I'm going to help you wholeheartedly without expecting anything in return from you. I want you to trust me and rely on me. As long as you do that, I will be happy. Again, her words are so strange to me. She speaks to me like I'm family. For some reason, that word sends off alarm bells in my head. It feels like I'm missing something essential, and only she would be able to tell me about it. But just like she said, there were more important things that needed to be done. When this was all over, I would finally corner her and get the answers from her that I needed. I had a feeling that she would willingly come to me and tell me the truth then. Maybe she's waiting for me to find Maya before she breaks any news to me. She probably understands that I'm already going through hell. I hope it's okay, but I've also asked Austin and his family to join the fight with us. She adds suddenly. The mention of Maya's family catches my full attention. Anything else that was on my mind was wiped out immediately. Why would Maya's brothers ever be willing to help me after everything I've done? They made it clear how much they hated me. It's hard for me to believe that this was true. Maybe she misunderstood them. Perhaps she thinks that they will show up, but they never will. I don't think Austin will ever agree to help me willingly. I point out. I would do the same if I were him and someone had treated my sister the way I treated Maya. In my defense, he also mistreated my sister poorly when Lucy came into the picture. I didn't want to think about that now. It was in the past, as I've already said to myself multiple times. If I'm being honest. He isn't helping you willingly, she says with a chuckle. Lucy is kind of forcing him to help. That's my sister, Marcus says with a chuckle. Austin doesn't stand a chance. Anything that she wants, he has to give her. He must, Thane growls. He promised to keep our sister happy, and he better keep that promise. So, where exactly is Austin? Hermano asks as he joins in the conversation once more. As soon as he asks the question, multiple vehicles pull up beside us. I watch as, one by one, they all begin to exit. The first person I see is Austin, followed by Lucy. Then James, followed by Eden. And lastly, Hunter is followed by Isabella. I realized then that I was surrounded by some of the most powerful werewolves in the supernatural world. Look who's finally decided to join the party. Marcus says as he hugs his three sisters. Couldn't you have come sooner? It's been boring without you. Lucy walks over to the rest of her brothers and hugs them tightly. I never get tired of seeing your handsome faces. Handsome? Austin asks her in a sarcastic tone. We can still bust you, Thane warns him. Lucy isn't always going to be able to protect you from us. Stop it, you two. Lucy scolds them. Amongst their bickering, something catches my attention. Giselle's maid. I couldn't keep my eyes off her. When everything else mattered more, she was still the center of my attention. I notice that she doesn't look too well. I know that this isn't the best environment for her after everything she's been through. I wish there were a safer place for me to get her to. One where she wouldn't have to listen to all of this. It must be too much for her, and she barely knew anyone here. My eyes widen when she begins to sway on her feet. I push through Hermano and Marcus as I rush to pull her into my arms before she can hit the ground. What's wrong with her? Gabriella asks as she joins me. Giselle trapped her in a freezing cell, I explain. She almost died. She would have if I didn't get to her in time. Oh no! Isabella exclaims. How horrible! That woman needs to pay for her wicked ways. I'll be happy to put her in her place. Hunter squeezes her shoulders and sees her hair. You're not going to be in this fight, remember, sweetheart? You're pregnant. You have to remain with Eden and Gabriella. I never said that I wasn't participating in this fight. Gabriella disagrees. But we've discussed this already, Arthur cuts in. Didn't we conclude that you girls would only join in if we needed your help? Remember when all of you left me out because I was pregnant? Lucy teases. I'm happy that you can finally get a taste of it. I'll rather you stay behind with them also, Austin growls. She rolls her eyes at him. You're not stopping me this time. I miss this. I don't want to be left out again. Austin doesn't look pleased, but he doesn't try and stop her again. I'm happy that they're too busy arguing over who would be joining the battle to realize how worried I was over the girl still in my arms. If they took a second to study me, they would realize how much she meant to me. Can I put her in your jeep? I ask Hunter. He nods, and I quickly open the door before placing her on the seat. I know that this is the worst possible time to do what I'm about to do, but I can't seem to stop myself. Seeing her like this was causing my emotions to overreact again. I take another look around me, everyone is still bickering. I take a deep breath, lean forward, and press my lips to her forehead. I don't know what I'm doing right now, but I'll be Ed if I stop. She stirs a little and quietly opens her eyes. I'm not sure if she realizes what I've just done, but she doesn't comment on it. Are you okay? I ask her, concerned. I didn't like seeing her like this. This was all because of that blasted Giselle. I couldn't wait to get my hands on her. She's gotten away with too much already. She crossed the line when she shoved this innocent girl into a freezing cell without any clothes. I was too easy on Giselle. She felt like she could do whatever she wanted to the people I cared about to get her way. That would be all over tomorrow. Are you okay? I repeat. She didn't answer the first time. She nods slightly. What happened? Maya, I don't know what just happened to me. 1 minute I was watching Kane speaking to everyone that had come to help him, and the next, I was falling to the ground. All I know is that something happened to me when I saw the vehicles pull up and the people that exited them. I felt this intense emotion that I had no idea how to describe. Everything about them seemed familiar to me. But none of them even looked my way, not once. I don't know why I keep feeling a connection with people who don't seem to know me. It happened with Kane, and now it was happening with these strangers that I knew nothing about. My heart felt heavy, and tears threatened to fall. Why was I hurting on the inside? I think you're still weak from earlier, Kane tells me. You should rest here for a little. You don't need to listen to everything that's happening around you. I immediately shake my head. I want to listen to everything. Giselle is finally going to get what she deserves. I'm not about to miss even a second of this. Kane doesn't look convinced. Are you sure that is what you want? I nod. I'm positive. I just had a moment of weakness. I will be fine now. I promise. Kane nods and helps me to get down from the vehicle. The moment that we step out together, all eyes are on us. I feel nervous under all their stares. They don't look unfriendly at all, they may even be concerned about me. That would be understandable since I'd just blacked out in front all of them. How is she doing? The girl from earlier asks. The one that looks like Kane. She says that she's fine. Do you need anything at all? Lucy asks me. I believe that she was the mate of Austin. And also the sister of Hermano and the rest of his brothers. At least that's what I've picked up from everything they have said so far. No, but thank you for asking. Austin watches me, and again, I feel an unmistakable pull toward him. Not like the pull I felt for Kane, but it was still a strong one. Who are you? Why did Giselle try to kill you? Kane walks in front of me in a protective stance. I don't think now is the time to ask her any questions. She's been through enough already. She can't give an introduction because she doesn't remember her name. She was forced to be a maid for Giselle. She had nowhere to go because she'd lost all her memories. She still can't remember them. I think we can all agree that now is not the time to ask her any questions. Now may not be the time for that, but I think that we can still at least introduce ourselves to the kind girl, Lucy says. How uncomfortable would it be for her if she didn't know our names or who we were? We have time for at least that much. Kane didn't refuse this time and instead moved from in front of me so that they could all introduce themselves. One by one, they did just as they said they would. They gave me their names and explained who they were to Kane or Maya and even each other. Maya wasn't just lucky to have Kane, she was also fortunate to have people who loved her. I could see how much she meant to almost everyone here. She was loved. I, on the other hand, had no idea if anyone loved me at all. So far, there is no one that has shown up asking for me. No one recognized my face, and if they did, they didn't bother trying to get into contact with me. After all the introductions, I stood at the back and watched as everyone continued their discussions. It was clear to me that everyone here was familiar with battles. The way they spoke and their properly laid out plans were something that only professionals could do. This definitely wasn't the first time for either one of them. I had faith that they knew what they were doing. This meant that Giselle would surely get the punishment that she deserved. It was almost time for the invasion to take place. After watching Kane suffer day after day, it was finally happening. I knew that Giselle would not be expecting this before her wedding day. I believe that Kane did the right thing by making her think that he was really going to marry her. It definitely kept her busy enough not to realize that she was being played. Soon enough, she would learn the mistake that she'd made. I couldn't wait to see the look on her face. Not only would she realize that her plan to kill me had failed, but she would also see that Kane would never marry her. She would never get to have the one man she was desperate to trap. Giselle tried every way possible to force him to marry her even though she already knew about his mate and the love he had for her. She was an incredibly selfish woman. Even though I also felt strong feelings for Kane and hated the idea of him loving another woman, it wouldn't make me act as crazy as Giselle did. I would not force him to be with me if he didn't want that. I knew that my heart would break if he ever found Maya, but I was willing to accept it because I knew that she was the only person that could make him happy again. And I've wanted that since the beginning. For Kane to be happy again. I wanted to repay him for all of the times he's saved me. I watched him as he walked from one person to the next, discussing everything about their plan. He was trying his best to ensure that everything went smoothly without any bumps. He was what I would imagine any good leader would be like. I can't believe you're forcing me to help, Austin says to his wife, Lucy. You know that this is what Maya would have wanted you to do as well. She tells him. She wouldn't want to see her mate marry someone other than her. If you don't want to do this for Kane, at least you know that you're doing this for your sister. Believe me, she will love you even more for doing this for her. I'm surprised that she would say something like that. I think I know now why Austin was head over heels in love with her. She was an intelligent and warm-hearted young lady. Austin sighs and pulls her close to him. I don't know what I'll ever do without you, Lucy. Somehow you always make me do what's right. She smiles. It goes both ways. You need me just as much as I need you. All of the couples present today are just like those two. They were all deeply in love. It was a beautiful sight to see. So this is what true love looked like. I was happy for all of them. The plan was originally to attack Giselle tomorrow on the wedding day, but they all decided that it was best to catch her off guard tonight instead. After listening to all their points, I also thought it was best to attack her when she least expected it. If they waited for tomorrow, Kane would have to go back there and be with her, pretending to truly want to marry her. From what I've seen so far, he wasn't the best at showing affection towards Giselle. I wasn't sure how he got her to believe that he was willing to marry her. It's set then, Austin says. We have the layout of the castle. And we know which side each of us will be attacking from. The main goal is to get to the dungeons and free everyone. We don't want to have any of us injured during this fight. After we free those people, we can leave. And that's when we will start our search for Maya. My heartbeat stopped for a second after they mentioned searching for Maya. This meant that Kane was closer than ever to find out what had happened to her. I'm not sure how I feel about this. When she was back in his life, he would completely forget about me. I sighed. It didn't matter if he forgot about me. His happiness was all that I had to be concerned about. Kane walks over to Maya's brothers, and I can see how eager he is to learn more of what Austin knows. Hermano told me that you've been looking into the list. And that you've gone through half of it already. How much more people do we need to question? This is what he's wanted all along. This is what Giselle has prevented him from doing. She's stopped him from searching for Maya. There is only one person left on the list, Austin answers him. She has to be the one responsible for Maya's disappearance. She also happens to be a witch. I'm sure it's her, James adds. We are so close to finding Maya. I can feel it. I hope she knows how much we love her and that we are coming for her. I hope she knows that we will never give up on finding out what happened to her. Eden hugs her mate as he shows signs of emotional trauma. This must have been hard on everyone, not only Kane. They've all been grieving for Maya. She was so loved that when she left, everyone felt it. It tells me the kind of person that she was. Kane wasn't lying when he said she was a ray of sunshine. She had to be for so many people to love her. I can see the look of hope that crosses Kane's face at their words. For the first time in forever, there is happiness on his face. He's looking forward to seeing her again, just like he told me earlier. This is what he was so desperate to achieve. Kane's eyes fall on me, and I feel my body come alive under his gaze. I don't know how to hide the pain I feel, knowing that we are about to go our separate ways as soon as this battle is over. That was it for us. I would be free from Giselle. Which meant I would have to learn to survive on my own. I didn't have any family or friends. I turn away from his penetrating gaze and walk over to the jeep. I didn't want to look at him. I was scared that I would begin to cry. I didn't realize how attached I was to Kane until now. I always knew it would hurt like hell when we had to separate, but I didn't think that it would feel like I was drowning in my sorrow. Hey! A feminine voice calls out to me. I turn and find myself face to face with Gabriella. Hi! I smile. How are you feeling? She asks me. She genuinely looks like she wants to know. A lot better. She smiles. I'm happy to hear that. Kane looks as though he cares for you plenty. I'm surprised that she brought that up. I didn't think anyone would notice the relationship between us. It was also very random. Was she implying something? I try to search for the right words to say. I'm not sure that I agree with that. I think that he has a good heart. He knows how much Giselle put me through, and I know how much she also tortured him. We share common enemies. Or shall I say, one common enemy. She nods. He has a good heart, doesn't he? I'm surprised that you noticed that. Not many people see that in him. I study her closely, and like before, I notice how much she resembles Kane. She also looks like she cares for him. Austin and his family are tied to Kane because of Maya, but Gabriella has no reason to help him. But still, here she is, putting everything behind her to help him. She even asked Maya's brothers to join in and somehow found a way for them to agree. Are you related to him? I find myself asking. Her eyes look startled by my question. Her reaction seems weird to me. It wasn't a difficult question, and I don't think that I've overstepped any boundaries. So then, why does she seem so surprised by my question? She pauses and looks at Kane before looking back at me. I think I should get back. I'm sure there is plenty for us to discuss still. But it was a pleasure speaking to you. I hope that one day you'll regain your memories, and I'll be able to get a proper introduction. If I was unsure before, I'm positive now that she is hiding something. Is everyone ready? Hermano asks. I think it's time we get ready for battle. They all agree and return to their vehicles. I'm not sure where that leaves me. But I know that I'm not saying goodbye to Kane this soon. I had to see him win. I had to see Giselle pay. And I wanted to see the look on her face when she realized that she'd lost. Kane approaches me, and he seems to be concerned about something. I'm not sure what he's worried about, but I want to assure him that everything will be okay. I need you to stay back, he says, surprising me. You can't be in the middle of that battlefield. Do you understand me? This wasn't what I expected him to say. Why would I stay back? I shake my head at him. I want to be there by your side. You saved me from dying, Kane. Do you understand how much I owe you? I owe you my life. That may mean nothing to you, but I don't take things like that lightly. I want to be able to fight for you. A muscle ticks in his jaw, and it looks like he's trying hard to control what he wants to say or do to me. The problem is that you don't know how to fight. If you can't fight, how do you expect to be on the battlefield? Do you remember that you're not only fighting to protect your life but that of your unborn children as well? If you don't want to listen to my plea, at least think about them. No one else should matter but them. I know you think that you owe me something for saving your life, but believe me, you don't. I did something that I thought Maya would be proud of, It was the only reason why I did it. I don't care why you did it, I whisper as I step toward him. What matters to me is that you saved me multiple times. You saved me, and you saved my unborn babies. I'm just trying to do the same for you. I know how important this battle is for you. I know that you can't afford to lose. I know all of these things, and I know how much Giselle has made you suffer. When you should have been out there searching for your mate, you were forced to stay back with her because of her selfish reasons. I want to help you get the justice that you deserve. Did you forget everything that I told you? He asks in a broken tone. I'm not a saint. I'm not a good person. I'm far from it. I've done wrong to the people closest to me, especially my mate Maya. Everything that has been happening to me is what I deserve. I've done this to myself. This is my punishment for hurting the one person I should have held close to my heart, protecting her, loving her, giving her everything that this world has to offer. Don't ever think that I never deserved any of this. I know what you told me, I answer him. It still does not affect my decision. Just because you made some mistakes in your past, it doesn't make you a bad person, Kane. You had your reasons for whatever you did, I'm sure of it. It doesn't excuse your behavior, but what matters is that you realize that you were wrong, and you're willing to correct it. If you were a bad person, you would not have recognized the bad you did, and you definitely wouldn't have tried to change it. You wouldn't waste your time trying to convince me that you were evil either. You're far from a bad person. It's time that you saw that yourself as well. Someone clears their throat, and I see the man Kane had introduced as Hunter earlier. His tongue seemed pressed against his cheek as he took in how close we were standing. He doesn't give much of his feelings away, but I can tell that he isn't pleased with how close we are. I can understand his reaction since these people were all Maya's friends and families. No one would want to see Kane this close to a woman that wasn't her. Especially not when she was missing. Please, for my sake, stay here where it is safe. If you want to do something for me, this will make me happy. He tells me before walking toward Hunter. The man looks at me one more time before the two of them walk away. I'm not sure what they are discussing, and at this point, I don't think that I care. I'm too lost in Kane's words to think of anything else. How can he convince me that he has no feelings for me when he says something like that? He acts like he's desperate to keep me away from any harm, and that's not something that you would do for someone you didn't care about. I can understand why he would want me to believe that he didn't have feelings for me, however. He knew that the moment he confessed to it, that would change everything between us. Things were already awkward after we almost made love. What had started as him trying to keep me warm and prevent my body from freezing to death had turned into something different. My body shivered at the reminder of that day. Part of me wishes that he didn't stop it from happening, but I'm still happy that I at least got to feel more than a kiss from him. These were memories that I never wanted to forget for the rest of my life. I wasn't sure if I should listen to him or do the opposite of what he was asking of me. Even if I were to stay back, where exactly would I seek shelter? I knew no one. What are you still doing standing here? Lucy asks me. Come join us. You can stay with the girls while the men start the battle. We will only interfere if they need our help. Gabriella rolls her eyes, that's quite unfair. I don't know why they're always so overprotective. Isabella rubs her belly, I don't know how we handle them. Hunter doesn't leave my side for even a second. Hunter walks towards us and places his hand on her stomach. Are you okay? I saw you rubbing your belly. Is our baby fine? Isabella gives us a look as if to prove her point. Lucy covers her mouth to keep from laughing, and so does Eden. I can't help but smile either. Their relationships were so pure and beautiful. How wonderful would it be to be a part of this family? I don't think I will ever have the chance to know. I was freaking out. The battle had just started. All the men had attacked from all sides of the castle, there wasn't a single corner left open. It was official. Giselle and her father were now under attack. How will we know if they need our help? I ask Gabriella. They're wolves' cries. She answers me. We will know if it's a victory cry or a cry for help. Oh, well, that would explain plenty. You look a bit uneasy, Lucy notes as she studies me. Aren't any of you? Your men are out there in battle. I answer her question with one of my own. Isabella smiles. There are times when I panic, but by now, I know how powerful my man is. I think he has this covered. I also feel a lot more confident when they are all in battle together, Lucy adds. That's true, Eden says. They look out for each other. We're lucky to have them. And they're lucky to have us, Gabriella says as the girls laugh. I still think it's unfair that they love leaving us behind during these battles, Isabella says. When we're no longer pregnant, we need to call dibs on the next battle. The guys will have to sit back and watch us win. Gabriella adds. Lucy laughs. They will have a panic attack if they learn of your plan, Gabby. I won't be surprised if they try to lock us inside a room to prevent that from happening, Eden notes. They are sly when they want to be. Isabella laughs. I could tell how much these ladies adored their husbands just by how they spoke about them. Even though they weren't happy about how overprotective they were towards them, they still understood why they did it. For a second, I let myself imagine what it would be like if I were married to Cain. Would he also be as overprotective as their mates were to them? I think I already knew the answer to that question. Cain was already a bit overprotective, and he wasn't even in love with me. If he acted like this now, how would he act if he were in love with me? He probably would never let me out of his sight. And I wouldn't have the slightest problem with that. I would happily let him keep me by his side every day. Can you believe they left men behind to guard us? Isabella snorts. It's like they have no faith in us. Lucy laughs. I think these men are here to keep us from entering the battlefield. Not to protect us. Gabriella laughs. I think you're right, Lucy. Arthur, for one, knows that it's challenging to keep me out of a battlefield. These men are here to make sure that we don't try to pull a fast one on them. If they were so confident in their mates, I shouldn't have any reason to worry about Cain. He should be safe as long as they all stuck together and watched each other's backs. My only fear was that Maya's brothers didn't like him too much. But if they were going to betray him, they wouldn't have bothered trying to help him escape from Giselle. I had to try and remain calm before I went insane with worry before they could return to us. Cain, it was almost over. We were winning the battle. The guards were no match for all of us combined. It's not like I had any doubts. I knew the power we had when all of us were joined together. This is too easy, Marcus says with a fake yawn. I can fight these men with my eyes closed. I grab one of the guards and shove him against the wall. Hermano finishes him off for me without me asking. That's how the battle has been going since the start, one attacks and the other slaughters. They didn't stand a chance against us. I don't think you needed us for this fight, Hunter notes as he quickly rips a guard's head off his body. I couldn't agree more with him. It seems that Hermano and his family would have been more than enough to win this fight. We've reached the dungeon, Austin informs us. This is where most of Giselle's security was kept. We had to keep on high alert now. There would be more of a challenge inside of here. There is a sudden scream, and it's only then that I realize Austin has one of the guards by his neck. I mumble. We've made them aware of our location. Get ready to attack. Here they come in their numbers. James shouts. Let's see who can get the most guards. Marcus cheers. He was good at making a joke at the worst timing. It wasn't something that I wasn't used to by now. At least it was able to lighten the mood a bit. Free the prisoners. Austin shouts to me. Take Hunter with you. I nodded, and we made our way further into the dungeons while they distracted the rest of the guards. You take the left, Hunter tells me. I'll take the other side. I don't wait for him to repeat himself, we're rushing to let every prisoner out of the hundreds of cells. They are confused when they realize that they've been set free, but it doesn't take long for them to spring into action. This is exactly what we wanted. For all of the prisoners to fight back for their freedom. The guards won't stand a chance against this many. I was happy that the plan was working. I breathed a sigh of relief when I finally reached the cage that held my people inside. Alpha! I hear them shout when they spot me. It's time to get you guys out. I shout as I break them free. We thought she'd done something to you, Dane says as he hugs me. You know I'm stronger than that. He laughs. I knew that as long as you were alive, you would find a way to get us out. Let's get out of here before there is a bloodbath. These prisoners are about to declare war on their captors. I inform them. Hunter joins me as soon as we're nearing the exit. Austin and the rest of the guys are already waiting for us. We pause when we spot Giselle and her father at the entrance blocking our escape. I've been waiting a long time for this, I shout. You've forced me to stand by your side for days. Did you think that your plan would work and I would marry you? This whole time I've just been thinking of ways to find Maya and get my people out of your cells. Now that I've gotten them out, it's time to make you and your father pay for everything you've done to me at my weakest point. Giselle narrows her eyes at me. How dare you to betray me like that? I've done nothing but love you this entire time. Every single thing I've done has been for you. I have never hidden my feelings for you. You knew from the start what my intentions were. Love? I ask with disgust. Do you even know what love is? What you feel for me is not love. If it were love, you wouldn't force me to do something I would never want. You wouldn't hurt the people closest to me to get your way. Your mind is too twisted to see how insane you truly are. Maya is the only woman I will ever love. There is no place in my heart for anyone else but her. I'm going to find her. But first, I must make you pay. Her lips tremble before they lift into a smirk. I don't think you realize it yet, but there may be someone else in your heart. Keep lying to yourself, Kane. It's not going to work. I stiffen at her words, knowing she isn't speaking about herself. There is only one other person that she could possibly be talking about. I've already shown too much of my emotions. I was never good at hiding it, and it came back to bite me. What is she talking about? Austin asks. Just what I needed right now. Another reason for Maya's brothers to doubt my love for her. Giselle knew what she was doing by saying something like this when they were around. She was hoping to put us against each other. I had to shut her up before she made a mess out of things. I wouldn't listen to anything that woman has to say. Hermano cuts in. She's twisted in her head. Before she can say anything else, I lunge for her throat. I'm surprised when she doesn't try to stop me as I grab her and shove her against the wall. I squeeze her neck tightly, remembering what she did to her maid. The men prevent Giselle's father from stopping me from hurting her. They would deal with him while I dealt with her. You thought that you could get away with your evil plan. Didn't you? I demand. You tried to kill your maid as well. How sick are you in the head? Her eyes widen. What do you mean by try? She asks. Is she not dead? She should have frozen to her death by now. I smile. She's very much alive. I think it's time you get the taste of your own medicine. She gasps when I open the door to a cold call. Good luck trying to escape from something your father built to keep prisoners. I'm sure you know what happens to anyone stuck in one of these cells. Kane, she screams. Please. You can't do this to me. I love you. You can't hurt me. I don't wait to hear the rest of her pleas. It was over. Giselle could no longer hurt the people I cared about. There was only one thing left for me now. To find Maya. I'm coming for you, sweetheart. I'm coming. Maya, they're coming. Isabella shouts as she spots her maid along with everyone else. I watch them all run to their mates to hug them and hold them close. My eyes are on Kane, and I desperately want to run to him. However, I know that it isn't my place. Especially not when Maya's entire family is around. They would freak out if they saw me holding onto Kane as though he was my lover. Even Kane would freak out if I did something like that in front of them. He already freaked out if I was close to him in private. Did you finish them off? Gabriella asks Kane. We killed her father. I locked her in a cold cell. She wouldn't last long. And the prisoners will finish off the guards for us. They can't hurt anyone else after today. He answers her. It's not over, Austin says. I don't want to waste another second. We need to bring Maya home today. I don't care how long I have to stay away from home. I'm not going home until I find her. Kane nods. Let's get going. We have no idea what they are doing to her. We need to free her. She's suffered enough already. I'm not sure if it's okay for me to tag along on this trip with them. This was a rescue mission for Maya. The woman Kane was hopelessly in love with. I'm not sure that I will be able to stand back and watch something like that happen in front of me. I've said before that I wanted him to be happy, and I understood that he would only be satisfied if he was back with Maya. That didn't mean that I wanted to see their reunion. I don't think my weak heart would be able to see something like that. I could barely handle hearing him talk about how much he loved her. How horrible would it be to see him showering her with love? Kane doesn't seem to notice me anymore. He's only concerned about bringing her home to him. I always knew this day would come when I would no longer have his attention. A day where she would be all he thinks about. That day was finally here, and I was even more devastated than I thought I would have been. Once more, Lucy invited me to join them, and I didn't turn her down. Kane didn't even ask for me to join them. I'm not even sure that he realizes that I would also be there while they searched for Maya. I had to get a grip on myself. I knew this day would come. It was time for me to be happy for him. He was finally close to getting Maya back. Kane, my heart is pounding against my chest. I'm not sure what I'm going to find. I walk towards the door, with everyone behind me waiting for a signal. This was the last known location of the witch. We'd already searched other sites where we'd hoped to find her. We didn't find anything. This was our last hope. If we didn't see her here, I didn't know what else to do. Austin and his pack are to the left, while James and his pack are right. Hunter's men, along with Arthur, are at the back of the building, while Hermano and his brothers are right behind me. We are all here to bring Maya home. I'm still praying that we find her alive and healthy. Though, I can't feel her presence here at all. That couldn't be a good sign. However, the witch may have put a spell on her to prevent me from finding Maya sooner. A spell that could stop me from sensing her. She was strong enough to pull something as crazy as that off. I had to wonder what other spells she used to get her way. We had no idea what she was doing to her all this time. Just the thought of it sends my blood boiling. I'm pissed that it took me this long to reach here. If Giselle hadn't trapped me, I could have gotten to her sooner than this. But I had to put that behind me now. At least Giselle had finally gotten what she deserved. Both her and her father. They'd lost everything in the end. I'm sure that they weren't expecting so many people to come to my rescue. Even though I didn't expect to get so much help, I was grateful for all the support I'd gotten. It's only because of them that I'm finally here. I wish it hadn't taken me this long to figure out where my Maya was. There is no telling what she had to go through in the hands of these monsters. When I got my hands on them, I would rip them into a million pieces. We didn't need this many men to attack the witch, but everyone here came for Maya. This was how much she was loved. She had all of these people along with me, ready to bring her home with us. Ready? Hermano asks me. I nod my head and slam the door open with force, breaking it down. I didn't want anything to be in my way. One after the next, we searched every single room in the abandoned castle. I moved as fast as my body would let me. Did you see anything? I ask Austin across the room. No. He shouts in frustration. Did you? Nothing here. I answer him. Those were all of the responses we kept getting, over and over. Nothing here either. Arthur shouts a little distance away. Where is that witch? Hunter asks as he comes out of a different room. Where could she be hiding? I wish I knew the answer to that. There were still many other rooms to search. I couldn't give up hope yet. I reached too far to give up now. Come on, I tell them. We need to move faster. We can't give her a chance to try and escape before she tells us what she did with my mate. Hermano pats my back as support, and we all move up the stairs together. We will find her, and even if we don't, we will not give up searching. Thanks. I thank him as we continue to search rooms one after the next. We don't stop until there is just one more floor left. The highest floor and the only one left for us to find the witch that destroyed my life. My heart is pounding against my chest, and it feels like it's about to jump out of my chest. This was it. I held my breath as we barreled into the last room, my last hope. I searched my surroundings and felt the air rush out of my body at what I saw next. Leaned up against the wall, with her knees pressed against her chest and tears streaming down her face, was none other than my mate. Maya. I'd finally found her. Kane, it takes my body a while to catch up with everything happening all at once. I couldn't believe that she was finally in front of me. After weeks of wishing and hoping that she was alive, doubting myself, and fighting others that thought she was dead, I'd finally found her. I finally had my mate in my life again. I couldn't begin to explain the relief I felt at seeing her. I wasn't expecting to find her, not when I couldn't sense her. I can't seem to snap out of the shock, and because of this, Austin is the first one to get to her. He kneels and helps pick her up from the ground, wiping her tears away. "We've got you," he whispers as he hugs her close to him. "You're safe now, Maya. We are never letting anyone take you from us again. I promise." Maya's tears flow more as she hugs her brother. Happy to have him in front of her. I don't think she was even expecting us to find her today. Did she lose hope in us? When we first saw her, she looked startled but relieved to know that it was us and no one that could bring harm to her instead. How much torture did my mate have to go through? James hugs her next, and I can't wait any longer. I have to take her in my arms. And I do just that. The moment I wrap my arms around her, her body relaxes against mine. I'm not sure what to say to her. I've known all along what I wanted to tell her, but now that she was in my arms, I can't seem to find the words. "I've finally found you," I whisper. "I can't believe you're here. I'm so sorry for everything. For hurting you. For not protecting you when you needed me to. For not being there for our unborn child." She burst into more tears at the mention of our child, and my body turns to stone at her reaction. "What's wrong?" I demand, already on high alert. "Our baby didn't survive," she cries. "The witch threw me down the stairs." I begged her not to hurt my baby, but she wouldn't listen to me. I couldn't save our baby, Kane. I couldn't. Her words are like sharp knives piercing through my heart. "Our baby was killed? By that witch? Where is she?" I roar. "Where is that witch?" Austin tries to comfort her, but nothing is helping. "We need to find her. We need to make her pay," he shouts. I pick Maya up into my arms and walk with her out of the room with everyone following behind me. "I don't know where she is, Kane," she cries. "Someone must have told her that you were coming to find her. She left earlier today, and she didn't tell me where she was going. I tried escaping many times, that's how I lost our baby." while trying to escape from her. It's my fault. Everything is my fault. I'm to blame. My baby is gone because of me. I try to soothe her. It's going to be okay. I promise. I will make the pain go away. I'll do everything I can to make it better. And we will find her eventually. I'm not going to stop until I suck the life out of her body for hurting you and taking our baby away. I didn't think it was possible to hate myself more than I already did. I didn't get to her in time. Because of me, neither of us would ever be able to see our baby's face. I was happy to have Maya in my arms again, but it hurt to know that we'd lost our child. I was a horrible father. I couldn't protect my baby. I was a failure. I hurt Maya, and I wasn't there for either of them when they needed me the most. How could I ever forgive myself after today? Maya, do you think they've found her? Lucy asks as she looks around nervously. Maya has been a sweetheart to me since the first day I met her. She always made me feel at home. I'd hate for anything to happen to her. Austin tries to stay strong in front of me, but I know her disappearance kills him inside. He hasn't been the same since we lost her. Isabella hugs her sister. She will be fine. They will find her. I have faith that they will. It's rather quiet, don't you think? Gabriella asks as she looks around us. If they'd found the witch, wouldn't there be more noise by now? They aren't exactly quiet during any battle. No one is quiet during battle. Eden nods, it is tranquil. It sounds like they're returning, however. I'm hearing something like footsteps. I held my breath and waited to see if they'd found anyone. Gabriella was right. I doubt they found the witch. If they did, there should be shouting amongst other noises. But there was none of that. I see someone. Lucy says. It looks like Cain. He has someone in his arms. I follow her gaze, and she's right. He is holding a woman with short hair, but I can hardly see her face. Maya! Lucy shouts. It's Maya. They've found her, Gabriella whispers in disbelief. Cain was right. She was alive. Lucy rushes to their side and gently pats Maya's head while tears flow down her cheeks. I couldn't believe how much everyone loved this woman. I don't think there was a single person that disliked her except Giselle and the witch who kidnapped her, of course. I watch as all the women take their turns to greet Maya and tell her how much they missed and loved her. All I could do was stand at the back and watch the exchange. The love in Cain's eyes was killing me inside. He loved her. Just like he said, I could see it so clearly now. But something seemed to be wrong. He was holding on to her tightly, but there was a strained look on his face. Something must have happened for him to look unhappy at a time like this. I studied him enough to know when he was sad or upset. I could safely say that he was both right now. So what was wrong? He's wanted this day for so long. The day when he could have her back again. And he'd gotten it with the help of all these people that also loved her. So why was he like this on such a special occasion? And he wasn't the only one. It was clear to me that there was an edge to everyone that went inside to save her. What had they seen or heard? I'm not the only one to notice it. Gabriella also seems to realize that something is off about the guys. Arthur joins her next to me. What's wrong with Kane? She asks him. Why is he so unhappy? He sighs, and it looks like whatever it was has affected everyone. I don't think you want to know, Gabriella. Of course I do, I need to know why he's sad. She disagrees with him. Maya just told us that she lost the baby. The witch pushed her down the stairs. And we have no idea where to find her. We searched the entire castle. She wasn't in any of the rooms. Which means that she's escaped before we could get a chance to get to her. Gabriella covers her mouth in horror, and so do I. Maya had lost the baby? Both Gabriella and I protectively held our stomachs at his words. We were both pregnant and knew what it meant for someone to lose their unborn child. I couldn't imagine the pain either one of them was going through. Losing a baby would be painful for anyone that had to go through something so awful. How could anyone do that? How could anyone try to harm a pregnant woman to the point that she loses her baby? My heart aches for both Maya and Kane. She may have the heart of the man of my dreams, but I still wouldn't wish anything so horrible on her. Kane's eyes somehow fall on me, and I feel my knees grow weak as our gazes lock. My lips part, and I try to remain calm. I couldn't be seen looking at him with longing when everyone was around. And he shouldn't be looking at me either. Not when the love of his life was in his arms. I can see the hurt in his eyes, and it's killing me inside, knowing that I can't run to him. I want to hold him, to hug him. To assure him that everything would be okay. To tell him that they would both heal from this. But I don't. It's not my place to do that. It never was. He belonged to the grieving woman in his arms. And I won't ever come in the way of that. I hold Maya tightly in my arms, but my eyes are glued to Giselle's maid. Her eyes are surprisingly both sad and happy. I couldn't look away. I knew that I should, but I couldn't find the strength. I know that she's happy that I've found Maya. She's never tried to turn my mind against my mate, not that she would have been able to even if she'd wanted to do it. However, she cannot hide the hurt in her eyes from seeing me with another woman. She has never really come forward and asked for anything from me, but her actions did show that she had feelings for me. She didn't have to tell me this for me to know the answer. I can tell that she knows I'm in pain. I've seen that look on her face many times before. She always tried to comfort me whenever I was missing Maya. Even when she didn't know anything about me or my past, she always thought of me as a good person, and she kept that opinion even after I told her everything I'd done in the past. Maya wraps her arms around my neck, and I force myself to look away from the girl. I promised myself that no one else would have my attention after finding Maya. I intended to keep that promise. There were just a few things that bothered me. Something felt off about this entire thing. I didn't feel the instant connection that I always felt around Maya. It was almost completely gone, and it worried me. This was not how I remembered feeling around her. But she was still my mate, and I had a duty to love and protect her no matter what was happening to my messed up heart. Maybe the witch who had her did something to affect my feelings around her. Her scent that I was so addicted to was barely visible. Giselle's maid had more of Maya's unique scent than Maya did. I wasn't sure if I imagined this or not. I always thought that the girl smelled like Maya because I was making it all up in my head. Now that Maya was in my arms, it didn't feel that way. It made me wonder if the witch used a spell on her to make it impossible for me to find her by blocking her scent. Whatever it is that she did, it was incredibly good. She wasn't an amateur. And that worried me. What else did they do to my mate while I was gone? I was terrified to ask her. I don't think I'll ever be ready for it. It will only remind me of how much of a failure I was. I'm not sure what any of this means for both of us. I know that I want to stay in her life. I don't want to let her go again. But I'm not sure she will want me back after everything I've done. I am prepared to fight for her, however. No matter what, I will not give up. The way she held onto me gave me hope. She didn't act like my presence made her sick. At least that was a good sign. However, she can be in shock from everything, and that's probably why her anger for me hasn't resurfaced as yet. Only time will tell. For now, I will enjoy these moments I have with her. Or at least try to enjoy it. The news about my baby has left a scar in my heart. I never got a chance even to say hi, not once. My baby never knew me. And maybe that was for the best. I would be ashamed to show myself after what I did to Maya. I tighten my hold around her. Are you okay? I am now that you are here. She tells me. I'm surprised to hear her say that, but I'm also happy. Another sign that she may have possibly forgiven me or at least considered forgiving me for hurting her. I think you should give me a chance to hug my sister, Austin tells me. He doesn't look pissed at me anymore, but I can't say that we are friends now either. Do you want that? I ask her. She looks between Austin and me before nodding. I slowly let her go, and before she could get to her brother, her eyes fell on the maid. Maya pauses and stares at her for a good few seconds. Her reaction to her surprises me. I know they've never met before, but why does Maya look so shocked to see her? Austin pulls her in for a hug, but she doesn't look relaxed. What could have possibly made her react like that after seeing the girl? It's not like she'll know that something happened between us. Would she? And was I planning on telling her? Maya was traumatized. I didn't think telling her about the details of my relationship with Giselle's maid would make the situation better. The last thing I wanted to do was make Maya wish to leave me again. But it's not like I could keep this from her forever either. She deserved to know the truth. I just had to wait until she fully recovered before explaining everything that happened between the two of us. I wouldn't even know where to begin. Did I tell her that the girl reminded me of her, and that's why I kissed her the first time? Being drunk wasn't an excuse, even though the girl wanted me to believe it was. She was kind-hearted, and that's why she thought that way, but I knew better. I was wrong. Just like I've always been. I don't think I know who this woman is, Maya says suddenly as she points at the maid. Who is she? Why is she here? My body goes still as she waits for someone to explain. It's a very long story, Gabriella tells her. I don't think anyone wants to mention to her about Giselle. I think I have plenty of time to listen to a story now that my family is with me. She says. I don't think that's a good idea. I intervene. You're tired, and you've been through a lot. We can tell you more about it after you've rested. Let's at least get you home. I don't know if Maya can sense my hesitation, but she doesn't look happy. I didn't want her to know that I almost got married to another woman while she was locked up and held captive by a witch. I didn't want her to think that I was weak. She needed an explanation for why we took so long to rescue her, and she will hear the entire story. But I don't want to tell her now. I don't think the rest of her family wanted her to know that they held a funeral for her either. Austin looks at me, and I can see that he's thinking the same thing I am. I was the reason they decided to get up and search for her again instead of accepting what the witch had said. I want to know. She repeats, drawing our attention back to her. What are you not telling me? Maya, I don't think I mistook the look that Maya gave me earlier. I don't think she likes me at all. This is strange since everything I've heard about Maya told me that she was a kind, loving person. But the woman that just looked at me with so much hate and surprise did not seem like a caring person at all. I'm sure that Kane didn't have enough time to tell her what happened between the two of us. I'm also positive that he wouldn't tell her as soon as he rescued her, he would give her time to recover from being kidnapped first. So then why doesn't she like me? It's not like she knew me from the past either. I heard her ask the others who I was. That meant that I didn't do something to her in the past that could make her dislike me. This seemed rather strange. And now she appeared demanding, insisting that everyone tell her who I was even though they were all trying to protect her. I knew that they didn't want to explain who I was because it would mean that they would have to tell her about Giselle. The entire story with her would only make Maya feel worse than she already did. Everyone here was trying to prevent that from happening. But she wasn't listening. She wanted the explanation now. It felt weird since she was crying just a few seconds ago, and now the crying had stopped, and she seemed annoyed. How did she switch emotions so quickly? Was I reading too much into this? I don't think anyone else saw what I was seeing right now. They were probably too worried about telling her everything that happened while she was gone. How about we get you home first? Austin asks her gently. I promise as soon as we get home, we will explain everything to you. Maya looks at her brother before looking around her. I think she realizes that she's acting unfairly when everyone here only wants what is best for her. She slowly nods her head, and the sad expression is back on her face. I don't know what I was expecting from Kane's mate, but I don't think this was it. Maybe losing her baby had caused her to become like this. Maybe in time, she will act like her old self. For Kane's sake, I hoped that she did. I saw what he went through with Giselle. I didn't want to see him suffer again. Everyone walked towards the vehicle, and I spotted Kane walking behind Maya, protecting her. I don't want to feel jealous, but I can't help it. I had to stop looking their way. What did any of this mean for me now? Maya was found, and Giselle was no longer a threat to us. It told me that I was free to go. But where would I go now that I was free? I didn't know anyone. And I couldn't ask these kind people to let me stay with them either. I also don't think I can stand seeing Kane with another woman. That would be too much for me. I didn't want to torture myself any more than I'd already done. I think this is goodbye, I say to Gabriella and the rest of the girls. I wanted to say goodbye to Kane and thank him one more time for everything he's done for me. But I don't think it's appropriate for me to do that when Maya is next to him. She already seemed to dislike me. Maybe she can sense how much I like Kane. If she did, I couldn't blame her for hating me. What? Gabriella asks. We barely got to spend any time at all together. How can you leave? Isn't it also true that you don't know anyone? Lucy asks me. Where do you plan on staying? We've learned of your pregnancy as well. It's not safe for a pregnant woman to be out with nowhere to turn to. And you still have no memory of your past. We don't know if someone tried harming you, maybe that's why you can't remember anything. I think you should stay with us until you at least regain your memory. When you finally remember, we can take you to your family, where they will be able to help you get back on your feet. Our family has never been the type to let anyone in your condition suffer without offering our help, Eden tells me. You can't go on your own. Let us help you until you get back on your feet. You're such a darling, Isabella adds. We will hate to see you go so soon. We promise to give you somewhere to stay. And we won't ask for anything in return. And you can stay with either one of us. Gabriella points out. It will be your decision. We don't all live together. Whoever you're most comfortable staying with is totally up to you. And you don't have to worry about offending us with your decision, Lucy says. How are they so kind? They barely knew me. They weren't even sure if they could trust me, yet here they were, inviting me to their homes so I wouldn't be homeless and out on the streets with no one to turn to. They were nothing like Giselle or the people I'd met while being stuck as her maid. What's wrong? Austin asks as he joins us. Everyone else was already starting the vehicles, waiting for the women to join. We are trying to convince her to stay with us, Lucy explains. We can't just leave her stranded when she doesn't even know her name. She won't be safe out here on her own. I don't want to be a burden on you. I try to reason with them. You aren't a burden on anyone. I feel my body become numb from the sudden interruption. It was Cain. He had spoken. I didn't think that he would care what happened to me now that Maya was back in his life. But I was wrong. He still showed his caring nature even though she was his priority now. I try to calm my racing heart. It's happy now that he's spoken to me again. It felt like forever since he'd said a single word to me. I don't know what to say in return. There is no use fighting them when it's clear that I have nowhere to go. For now, I'll have to stay with Maya's family. It may be torture, but I had no other option. I couldn't be stupid. I just had to be careful around Cain. As long as I could do that, there shouldn't be any problems between us. And it wasn't like I had to stay with them for the rest of my life. It was only until I could regain my memories or at least find a place where I could stay. I would also have to find a new job, hopefully, a good one that was nothing like the one I had with Giselle. All right, I finally respond. I'm happy to stay with you. Thank you for showing me nothing but kindness. Maya, Gabriella and the rest of the girls had kept talking for the entire ride back home. They were all pleased to have Maya back. And I was happy for them in return. Every single one of them deserved happiness. I've never met kinder people than these beautiful women next to me, and I can safely say that even though I had no memory of the people that has been in my life in the past. And I was glad that they were all blessed with mates who loved and adored them. They deserved to have people in their lives that would keep them happy and safe. After a long drive, we finally pull up to the palace. From what they've told me, this kingdom belonged to Maya's family. Maya wasn't just any regular girl, she was also a princess. Just when I thought she couldn't get any more perfect than she already was. I was still in shock from her actions earlier. I didn't hear any of them mention that she was acting weirdly. I apparently had been the only one to notice it. But I've never been around Maya before, I wouldn't know how she used to behave. All I knew about her was what Kane had told me. Was it possible that I was trying to find a fault in her? I'm not sure what it is about her that makes me feel so uneasy. And I don't know why I'm the only one that feels that way. We should have a celebration, Lucy says as we exit the vehicle. Today is a happy day for all of us. We thought we would never see Maya again, but we were all wrong. We have her back. I think that's a great idea, Isabella responds. But I think we should ask Maya first. She's still in shock, and she also just lost her baby. I'm not sure that she will be willing to celebrate at a time like this. Lucy covers her mouth in horror. You're right. I didn't even consider that she wouldn't want this. Maya and Kane walk in front of us just then. I try not to be affected by their presence, but it's hard for me. Kane has his arm around her waist, supporting her. She has her head on his chest. I know that Austin doesn't really like Kane, but I can't deny how cute they look together, Lucy whispers. It's clear that Kane loves her even though he was initially. Gabriella nods. I've tried to tell the men that since the beginning. He loves her. He always did. He got caught up in the death of his father and sister. I think any of us would be blinded by rage if someone we loved was killed. We also know his family deserved it after what they tried to do, but they were still his family. Of course, he could have handled it differently, but I'm glad that all of that is behind us now. Eden nods. I think the guys need some time to warm up to him. It may take a while, but with our persistence, I'm sure we can get them to like each other. What are you ladies chatting so much about? James asks as he joins us. I'm sure they are up to no good, Austin adds. They're never up to any good when they're together like this. I'm sure they're planning something that will drive us miserable. Lucy rolls her eyes. When do we ever do that? How about we continue this discussion inside? Arthur asks as he pulls Gabriella along with him. I follow behind them, not sure where we're heading. As soon as I step into the palace, my body feels like it had just been hit with something powerful. I gasp and clutch my heart. It felt like it was bleeding. What was this reaction? What was causing me to feel like this? Everything hurts inside of me. It's like my body is trying to tell me something, but I can't figure out what it is. Hey, Gabriella says as she looks at me with concern. Are you okay? Lucy and Isabella rush to my side. Are you having belly pains? Lucy asks. Do you want us to call the doctor to give you a checkup? I shook my head as the pain slowly started to leave my body. I don't know what happened. This is not the first time this happened to me. It also happened when I saw all of them for the first time. What connection did I have with this place? It was killing me inside, not knowing anything from my past. Let's get you inside, Gabriella says as she helps me. They stay by my side until we reach the living room area. Have a seat, Lucy tells me, and I do as she says. Kane walked in then and noticed that everyone was making a fuss over me. His body immediately goes into a protective stance as he walks over to us with concern written all over his face. What happened? We're not sure, Gabriella tells him. It looked like she was in pain, so we helped her get inside. I didn't want to do this. I didn't want to do anything that would force Kane to show affection for me. As much as I loved his attention, I wouldn't fake any pain to get it. We need to call a doctor. He insists. No. I exclaim. I don't need a doctor, Kane. I can assure you that I am fine. He doesn't look convinced, and I don't think he realizes what he's doing now. He wasn't making things look good for himself. He'd just found Maya, and yet he insisted that a doctor come to see about me. He didn't react like this to anyone else except Maya. Wouldn't anyone find his reaction to me a bit weird? I was glad that Maya wasn't here to see this. I'm not sure if he dropped her in her room or if she was spending time with her parents. After all, they were also in terrible pain after thinking that she was possibly dead. You don't look fine, he says to me. You're pregnant with twins. Don't you think it's better to be safe than sorry? Twins? Lucy gasps. She has 2 babies inside of her. Gabriella asks in shock. This is fantastic news. Isabella says. The first twins amongst us. I think Kane is right about this, Gabriella tells me. We should have a doctor check on you. To make sure that everything is okay. I don't need one, I assure them. If anything happens to me again, I'll tell you. We can call the doctor to see me then. Kane doesn't look happy, but he doesn't try to change my mind. Especially not when Maya finally walks into the room. He immediately masks his concern for me and walks over to her. I heard him ask her if she needed him to get anything for her. Austin and the rest of the men walked in just then. I think I'm ready to know the truth, Maya says. Everyone told me they would tell me what I needed to know after we got home. We're home now. I don't want any more excuses. Who is this woman? What happened while I was gone? And why are you so scared to tell me? Kane guides her to the couch. I think you need to sit to hear this. Are you sure you're ready to learn everything? Austin asks her. You've been through plenty, Maya. I don't want you to be sad anymore. I need to know you're strong enough. She nods. When have I ever been weak, brother? I can take it. Tell me. Kane sighs, realizing that he can't change her mind. The same day you went missing. We all thought that there was a possibility that you were dead. The witch sent your family a letter and strands of your hair. She was claiming that they had killed you. Your brothers thought that I was responsible for it. They came for me, but Gabriella protected me. I look at Gabriella as he gives her a look of appreciation. She smiles, and she even looks like she melts a little. There is no doubt that Gabriella cares a lot more for Kane than she's admitting. She still was keeping something from the rest of us, and I'm not sure when she would be willing to tell us. And it indeed had something to do with Kane. Even Maya looks at Gabriella with pure curiosity. She doesn't know why she would fight to protect him. I expected her to be grateful for her. It's only because of Gabriella that he was still here with us today. But there is no appreciation in her eyes for her at all. What happened next? She asks. After they left, I was devastated, but I wasn't willing to accept that you were gone. I felt your connection even though they wanted me to believe that you were dead. I was going to find you, but something happened to me, preventing me from coming for you. He says without looking at her. I hated seeing him like this. He felt like a failure in front of her, and he shouldn't feel that way. I was by his side, I saw how much he was in pain because of Giselle. He was in despair because he couldn't get to Maya. Giselle was preventing him from doing that. There is a woman that has been obsessed with me for years. Her name is Giselle. Her father attacked me when you went missing, he blackmailed me into accepting her. He captured my people and held them in his dungeons. They threatened to kill them if I didn't agree to marry her. Maya doesn't look as surprised by this story as I thought she would be. When she catches everyone looking at her, her expression quickly changes to one of shock. Are you telling me that while I was fighting to protect my life and our baby's life, you were about to get married to another woman? She asks in disbelief. I tried to remain calm in the tone of her voice. Does she not realize how much he's already hurting? She doesn't have to try and make him feel worse than he already did. Kane bows his head in shame. I'm sorry, Maya. I'm so sorry. I tried to get away from her. But I couldn't do anything when all of my people were already locked up. I couldn't ask your brothers for help because they hated my guts and still thought I was responsible for your disappearance. And to be clear, I don't blame anyone for thinking I was responsible. I brought that upon myself after hurting you the first time. How did you escape then? She asks him. And I still don't know who that woman is. What is her name? Kane looks at me, and I can see the guilt in his eyes. She doesn't remember her name. She has lost her memories. Giselle forced her to be her maid, knowing that she had nowhere to go. She even tried to kill her. Then how is she still alive? Maya asks. She seems to be more interested in my story than Kane's. Giselle locked her in a cold cell. She tried to freeze her to death. I knew that she was pregnant and that I had to save her and her unborn children. I got to her just in time. At least you were able to save someone's baby since you weren't capable of saving your own. She tells him in a sarcastic tone. I couldn't stand this anymore. How could she sit there and say those things to him? It was clear that he was already in so much pain from hearing that she'd lost their baby. Did she think that he wanted those things to happen? It was clear that he loved her with all his heart. Why couldn't she see that? How can you say those things to him? I demand from her, shocking everyone in the room. I was there. I saw everything. Every chance he got, Kane would sacrifice his life to find out what happened to you. He was heartbroken every single day that he had to spend without you. You were always in his heart and mind. He didn't care what happened to him, all that mattered to Kane was getting back to you. Can't you see how much your words are hurting him? I understand that you've been through a lot, but he has too. Not a day went by that he didn't think of you. Every second he spent with Giselle was torture for him, but he still stayed strong because he knew he had to be strong for you. I've never seen a man love a woman as he loves you. You should be happy to have someone like him, and you should be happy to have a family like this one. They all love you more than anything else in this world. If you love them, you will try to see that your disappearance didn't only affect you but everyone here as well. Maya's eyes narrow at my interruption. The shocked look on everyone's faces tells me that I may have just crossed the line. Why did I do that? Why did I let her words get to me so much? Kane stands up and faces me. Don't you dare ever speak to my mate like that again. My lips part in horror. His words have pierced my heart. I was only trying to protect him. I didn't mean to offend anyone. I couldn't believe that he would stand there and speak to me like that after everything we've been through together. How could he? Join our Facebook and WhatsApp group for more updates, link is given in description. Rest audiobook will be continued in next episode.